Every act of service has a story. Every story has the power to inspire. In a world that is always rushing forward, we pause to listen, to learn, and to lead with purpose. Here, conversations go beyond words. They ignite compassion, leadership, and change. This is True Rotarian, where service meets storytelling. I am Hemant Bhasin. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to True Rotarian Podcast, where we listen to stories of service from eminent personalities who are involved in serving underprivileged members of our society and build strong communities and help build a strong Bharat. Today's conversation is little different. It's softer, it's deeper, and yet it is incredibly powerful. We often think spirituality requires sacrifice, renunciation, or seriousness. But what if healing could feel gentle? What if spirituality could feel graceful, even more luxurious? My guest today believes exactly in that. I'm delighted to welcome Sonali Bhasin Kumar, a theta healer, oracle card reader, angel therapist, and a sound healer, and the one who curates beautiful, intentional spiritual travel assistance where healing feels effortless and soul feels at home. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us as Rotarians are by and large very spiritual, and every president during his trip plans a religious trips to various destinations. And friends, when I first learned that Sonali is involved in such a beautiful work, I thought of inviting her to our podcast so that our fellow members and fellow Rotarians benefit from Sonali's experience. Sonali, welcome to True Rotarian Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. It is, I think it's a great opportunity, and it's amazing, to connect with you and through you connect with so many people, who listen to your podcast, watch your podcast. And I think you're doing a commendable job yourself by doing these podcasts. And, people like us just need a stage, where we can be shown and our voices can be heard. So thank you so much once again.
Sonali, you are on a holiday.
Oh, yes.
In Goa, right? And thank you so much for taking some time out from your holiday, from your children, from your husband and your family, and coming to True Rotarian Podcast.
Thank you for having me over.
Many people visit sacred places as observers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your retreats invite people to live spirituality. When did this shift from seeing to embodying became important to you?
So that's actually a very beautiful question. And the thought behind this, when I decided to do these retreats and pilgrimages, the whole thought was that we all go to temples. We all know a little bit about, the Char Dham, these are Vishnu Dhams, or these are the Jyotirlingas which are connected to Lord Shiva. But how many of us do truly understand the stories behind it? The reason why that Jyotirling came into being in the first place. What was the story behind it? And when you go visit these places, now we understand, and a lot of people, a lot of podcasters, who talk about spirituality, they talk about these temples and these places of religion or these religious places being very, very powerful portals of energy. Like the energy is really, really powerful there. But all we do there, if you notice, we just enter, we bow our head, we do namaskar, and we pay our homage to the deity, and we walk off. So how many of us do actually soak in that energy is my question. So my whole idea of curating this journey was that I did not want it to be like any other pilgrimage or any other. So this is something, which any travel and tourism company can do. They can like, I've been in fact seeing a lot of these ads even on social media. 14 दिन के अंदर 12 ज्योतिर्लिंग या 20 दिन के अंदर 12 ज्योतिर्लिंग. But my idea was like, how can you do that? If you're there, you need to take it in. You need to soak the energy in.
Yes.
So the idea is to connect with that energy rather than just going and visiting and doing a matha teka and coming back. So that's how it is different.
Wow.
That's how the thought came about.
So what you basically wanted was people who visit such places, such beautiful religious places or spiritual places, you wanted them to connect with their inner soul.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's so wonderful, Sonali.
Absolutely.
That's so wonderful. Well, before you became a facilitator of sacred journeys, were you yourself always spiritually inclined, or did the life take you gradually?
So a lot of people ask me this question. And everybody's like, have you had any trauma in life? Has your childhood been little, off track? Or is your inner child not satisfied? Or like, what kind of sadness or trauma is it, that made you take this path? You don't really need to go through any kind of trauma to get onto the path. So if you've been on the path in your previous lifetime, you automatically get on the path in this lifetime.
Right.
So I would say that my journey did not start now. My journey began probably in my previous lifetime. So I don't want to get into details as to where I was before I took this body, but I know that. So a lot of people have been on the path, which is why you get onto the path. So my journey started very young, very happy childhood, coming from a very happy family. You know my parents very well. So I don't know, there was a calling. I was very connected and inclined towards Shiva. So even as a child, I used to keep those Somvar Vrats.
Oh, okay.
And nobody in my family knew what it was.
Somvar Vart, as
for
I understand,
Shiva.
is to get a good husband.
They say that. They say that to get a husband like Lord Shiva.
But your husband is very good anyway.
Thank you.
I love that guy.
I think he'll be very happy to see this podcast. So, so I used to do that. And when I was very young, I think at the age of 8 or 9, I taught myself the Mahamrityunjay mantra. I don't know why and where it came from. Nobody in my house, in my family, knew the Mahamrityunjay mantra at that point of time. And I remember, I have this memory so clear in my head. I would lock the room, and there was, us time pe na, cassettes hua karte the.
Yes.
You had audio tapes. There were no
Yes.
CDs or anything like that.
Yes.
So we had a cassette, and I used to go on a loop of doing the Mahamrityunjay mantra jap 108 times on my own. It came to me on its own. So the journey started very, very young. And when I started fasting, like even today when I keep the Mahashivratri fast, I do a Nirjal fast. So I go 24 to 30 hours without water. So I do that. So I feel that connection with
It was from your childhood.
Shiva. Yes, yes.
Wow.
Not from my childhood, I would say from my previous birth.
Previous generation.
Yes.
Actually, basically, you are a very beautiful person. I've met you so many times. I met your husband so many times. Every time I look at you, I find little peace in your eyes, little terao. One feels very happy. And your aura is very beautiful.
Thank you.
I can only feel auras. I can't see the auras.
I know.
But I love it. No wonder we are doing a podcast today on spirituality.
Absolutely.
It is. We were meant to.
We were meant to.
Sort of share your knowledge with my viewers. Now, what do you think modern seekers are truly longing for today? Information, experience, or inner transformation?
So, good question again. I would take this as how aware is a person. So the journey starts from the point when you first are aware about all of this happening around you, about the different tools of healing, about these places of worship, the stories behind that. So A is awareness. That's the most important thing. So a lot of people, get caught and get confused. Like I said, that awareness is not enough. Okay, I know there is this Jyotirling And it's a Swambhu Shivling where Shiva manifested in the form of a Shivling, and I have to go there and, pay my homage. Okay, right, good, you know that much. But
You want to feel
what
it,
beyond that?
experience. Yes.
Like if you're touching that Shivling, for example, the Kashi Vishwanath temple, they let you do the Sparsh Darshan and you're allowed to touch the Shivling.
Wow.
When you touch the Shivling, how do you feel? When you go to Mahakal. So Mahakal, the most popular is the Bhasmarti. When we went for the Bhasmarti, I was howling. How do you feel those emotions? Do you understand those energies? Do you feel that power, coming from that Shivlingam? So how many of you are aware of that? For a lot of people, sadly, it is just like a tick mark of the bucket list, which I have felt.
But many of them, when they visit such places, they come totally transformed.
Transformed if you are going beyond that little awareness.
Beyond
That is
ticking
where, yes,
your
just
bucket
ticking
list.
that tick box. So I always, when I put the intention and when I curate these trips, I always want to invite, and I always say to Baba up there and Shiva, Mahadev up there, that just send me people who understand energy.
Fantastic.
People who understand what inner transformation actually means. Just going and visiting and making a reel and putting it on your social media and saying, oh, I went there and I went there. That's not what we are looking at.
I agree with you. Now let's talk about Mahakumbh. Mahakumbh is often described as India's spiritual gathering, the largest
It is.
spiritual gathering on the earth.
It is.
But you're guided to us inside the entire Kumbh. It was not around it. What does Mahakumbh means to you at your soul level?
So I don't know how many of you know what a Mahakumbh means. So the Mahakumbh which we had in January and February this year, like the year which went by, which is 2025, came after 144 years. So it's a special alignment.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Absolutely. That is why they call it the Mahakumbh. So the special alignment is that the sun, the moon, the Saturn and Jupiter, it was aligned in the same line. It was aligned in such a way that, because see, how do the yogis know? They don't keep calendars. They don't
Yeah.
have smart watches. So they follow the Panchang and they follow the stars.
Right.
So it is the alignment of these four planets, like the sun, the moon, the Saturn and Jupiter, in that particular alignment. And that alignment happens once in 144 years.
Jesus.
So imagine witnessing that. So a Kumbh, on the other hand, comes every 12 years, which is when Jupiter takes an orbit around the sun. So the one orbit, like one chakkar that Jupiter does around the sun, is one Kumbh, which
12
is like
years.
12 years. So imagine this happening for so many years when a Mahakumbh comes after 144
4
years.
years.
So it's not only the Jupiter.
So 12 into
it's-
12 is 144 years.
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely. So it's like 12 times of, 12 times when the Kumbh occurs. That is once in 144
That
years.
is Mahakumbh.
Which is why everybody said that this Mahakumbh and the alignment was so powerful that taking a dip in the Triveni Sangam at that point of time was... So I managed to do that. So I am very happy. And that too with the Naga Sadhus.
Wow.
So
Yeah. This
truly,
is.
truly
I was
blessed.
reading, somebody had posted it, or maybe I spoke to one of your friends, and they said the entire group participated in Akhada processions.
Yeah.
And you had Amrit Snan.
Amrit Snan, yes.
And then along with that, you lived with Naga Sadhus. Experiences most people only see from far away. How did you and your friends there that time feel the moments that change sort of the thought process for a participant?
When I went, I went with a very open mind. And touch wood, my manifestations and my intentions are, when I set them up, they're very, 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 very powerful. And for a thing like this, I know Mahadev wanted me to be there. And so, whatever I asked for, touch wood, I got it. And when I went for the Mahakumbh, my idea was to be with the Naga Sadhus. I wanted to be with the Naga Sadhus. And I didn't just want to go see them, meet them. I wanted to be with them. And I got this beautiful opportunity where, this troop, you have foreign photographers, going for, so only they have these special permissions of visiting the akhadas and clicking the pictures and being with the Naga Sadhus. Of course, they do not understand the meaning of an Amrit Snan. For them, it's naked sadhus, walking on earth and everybody watching and everybody doing. They don't understand what goes behind making a Naga Sadhu. So, in any case, luckily, we got the permissions, me and my group, and we decided to walk it. It was a good 14-kilometer walk. We started walking at 9 at night, and we reached the akharas around 12 or 1. And they were really sweet. Okay, guys, I want to tell you one thing. So a lot of people feel, you hear a lot of stories and you've seen a lot of, I think it's come out on social media about a Naga Sadhu attacking a photographer or, attacking somebody. You need to understand, you've got to respect their space.
Yes.
They are warriors. They were made for a particular reason. When we talk about the Naga Sadhus, I'll go more into detail as to how they came around, how they came into being and what their history is. But we need to protect, they need to protect their aura. Imagine if you're seeing my aura is powerful, you've got to meet a Naga Sadhu. He is like 1,000 times, more powerful than me. And if you touch him without his permission, how do you think he would feel? Forget about a Naga Sadhu. If anybody touches you,
No, that is wrong.
how would you feel?
Whoever did this,
Even if you're taking a Ashirvad or whatever, you seek permission. Na, Baba, can I take, your Ashirvad? Aap Ashirvad denge? And they are very, very sweet souls. They are very, very kind.
learned people.
Very learned people. You go sit with them. And I was very scared because I had heard so many stories about these Naga Sadhus hitting back and doing this and giving shrap and whatever. But when I went there and they said, Bitiya, baith ja. And I was like, oh. Then they gave a kambal. Ki, okay, you sit. And every 5 minutes, we were given chai. The chai that they were having was the same chai which was given to us. And they do dhuni sadhana. So dhuni sadhana is like for 18 years, they take that dhuma and, they test their bodies, their mind and soul. It's very, very hard, to become a Naga Sadhu. And so we were with them. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, the whole process started, where they get up, they perform that particular ritual, and they smear their body with ashes, bhasm lagate hain body ke upar. And then the whole procession starts, the procession which you see on television. And so we started walking with them. It was a stampede kind of situation, but I did it twice. So once we did it on Makar Sankranti, which was the Amrit Snan, the second one after Posh Purnima. And after that, we had the Mauni Amavasya, where we had the stampede. So we didn't luckily go for the Mauni Amavasya, but we went for the Basant Panchami Amrit Snan.
Okay.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. We were doing Har Har Mahadev. And, we had a Naga Baba walking with us.
Wow.
We were a part of either the Niranjani Akhada or the Ahvan Akhada or the Juna Akhada, and we kept moving up and back and forth. We kept losing because those people walk so fast. But this guy stayed with us with a trident. So वही मैं कह रही हूँ ना, सुनना जो भी whatever people say, don't just believe whatever people are saying, because it was one of the most beautiful experiences of our lives. And we kept going till we reached the Triveni Sangam.
Wow.
And you know what we did? The moment they saw the Triveni Sangam, they just dashed. They ran into the water. And you know what we did? All we did was, I still remember, you have the Rudraksh Baba, the very famous, world famous Rudraksh Baba, who has all those Rudraksh malas on his head. And itne sare great sadhak and sadhus and all these people were there. The one thing I did was I took the mitti of the, next to the Sangam, where they had touched, like where the feet had touched. Because we were told, keep jal to lekar jao yahan se, because you're going to take the water back
Take
from
blessings.
the Mahakumb, but take the, the soil, the sand on which they have walked.
Yes.
Because those are the real blessings. And till date, I have that sand
Wow.
sitting next to me. And then we took a dip with them in the water, and we had this huge platform full of photographers from all over the world, and we had drones flying on our head, and I was like, oh my God, we have made history. I don't know how many people would get to experience that, but it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life.
Now, how did your friends and you understand the kind of discipline and the kind of lifestyle they lead and the devotion behind their path?
So, it is amazing because it's a very long journey. Like you don't just get up and decide to become a Naga Sadhu the next day. It doesn't work like that. So around 12 years minimum is what it takes for a person to become a Naga.
So 12 to 20 years.
Yeah, 12 to
You
18,
mentioned
18
that.
to
Yes,
20
yes.
years.
Of total renunciation.
Total renunciation,
What?
they give up their family names, they do Pindadan. So
Oh.
when they choose to get onto the path and become a Naga Sadhu, they do a Pindadan. मतलब कि ये जो मेरा नाम है, ये जिस family को मैं belong करता हूँ, I'm doing a Pindadan. He does his own Pindadan that I am dead to the world. I am dead to this Maya Jal. I'm dead to this materialistic world. I am now a devotee to only Mahadev, to Lord Shiva.
Wow.
And my only father, my only guru is Lord Shiva. And to get to Lord Shiva, I have these set of heads, or you call them your gurus, who I have to follow. So they are tested for 12 years. Once a person decides, so this is very interesting. So once a person decides to become a Naga Sadhu, he's taken into the akhada. So you've got many akhadas. The biggest akhada is the Juna akhada. Then you have the Nirjani akhada, you have the Ahvan akhada, you have the Anand akhada. You'll be surprised, a lot of Sikhs also are a part of the akhadas. Like if the Sikhs also participate, by the way, in the Mahakumbh. They also have their akhadas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You have all these akhadas. So this person decides to join the akhada. So for 12 years, this man is watched. You are under the watchful eye of the heads of the akhada.
His seniors.
Imagine that. Can you imagine that? मतलब one little idhar udhar and you're out. The kind of life you have to lead, and the one thing that they need to do is सबसे पहली चीज shed off clothes. गर्मी हो सर्दी हो, you have to be without clothes because clothes represent being connected to the desires. So renunciation करना है तो सब कुछ renounce करो ना. तन पे कपड़ा भी क्यों पहनना है? Give that. Then smear your body with ash, just to show that, I am not afraid of death. Death is a part of me. It's a cycle. And the kind of life that they lead, like leaving your family, leaving your name, and coming there and being watched
And for only connection.
for only connection, But by the end of it, the kind of siddhis that these people attain.
Must be amazing.
It's remarkable. We can't even dream of. And you'd be surprised, this time during the Kumbh. Right now, by the way, we have the Magh Mela going on in Prayagraj. So Magh Mela happens every year. So right now, again, there are a lot of Naga Sadhus there. If you want, you can go to Prayagraj, Allahabad, and
I
you can meet
think
them.
whenever you organize a trip next time, I'll probably
you
then
must,
come there.
You must.
Maybe we can record a podcast there.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I promise I'll get a Naga Sadhu on your podcast. I
Fantastic.
promise. I'll get a Aghori or a Naga Sadhu.
So,
on
ladies
your
and
podcast.
gentlemen, imagine after some time you might see a podcast made either in Prayagraj or in Haridwar, or
the next
in
one's going in
good
Haridwar,
place.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sonali, for giving me this offer. Now, you included darshans at Mahakaleshwar and Omkareshwar,
Yes.
and Jyotirlingas, places believed to be self-manifested. How does energy feel different at such places?
So, like I told you, there are in total 12 Jyotirlings. Okay, Shiva's Jyotirlings, which are supposed to be Swambhu. Swambhu yani ki they are not man-made. No man has made those Jyotirlings.
They are
Shiva
natural.
manifested himself in the form of light at these 12 places in India. Right? So this is how a Jyotirling was formed. So every Jyotirling has a story. Like the Mahakal Jyotirling, Shiva manifested in order to save a bhakt from a demon. So it's a beautiful story. So there was this demon, I'm forgetting his name, but he was attacking this city, and city of Ujjain. Okay, it was called Avantika earlier. Now, as we all know, we keep changing names. I don't know why we like to do that. Like Kashi was so beautifully called Kashi. I don't know why it's become Varanasi, Banaras, or whatever. Kashi is such a beautiful name. Shivki, Nagari, Kashi. So anyways, it was called Avantika. Now it's called Ujjain. And so there was this demon who was attacking all the pandits, and he was attacking all the sadhus, and he was attacking the people of Ujjain. And so there were these three guys. So one father and three his sons. They were sitting and they were praying to Lord Shiva, and so when this demon came, everybody started running from here to there, to save themselves. But this man did not stop calling out to Lord Shiva. He did not stop praying to Lord Shiva. He was like, क्या होगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मार देगा मुझे, doesn't matter. But my puja has to finish. भोलेनाथ being भोलेनाथ, छोटी छोटी चीज़ से impress हो जाते हैं. So he immediately manifested in the form of light.
Okay.
Right there. And the place where he manifested is what the Mahakal Jyotirlinga is.
Wow.
To save his bhakt. Of course, then he killed the demon and all of that. Like I always say, you call it mythology, but I call it reality. So that's the story of Mahakal. And Mahakal lately has gained a lot of popularity, mainly because of, ek to Ujjain ki energy is very, very powerful. So two places in India, if you ever want to visit, one is Kashi, I call it Kashi, and the other one is Ujjain. There are close to 2,000 to 3,000 temples and ancient temples, and every temple has a story to tell.
Wow.
Every temple has a story to tell.
Excellent.
Like if I start off, we can go on for hours and it can be never ending. But it is beautiful. It really transforms you, because Bhasma Aarti is a very, very, of course you got the Mangala Aarti, you got the Shayan Aarti, but the Bhasma Aarti is one of the most powerful Aartis, wherein the Shivling is, unko bhasma se nilaya jata hai, like bhasma chadai jati hai. You all know Mahadev with bhasma and everything. The moment you think of Shiva, you only think of bhasma and you think of those dreadlocks and those Rudraksh mala and the trident in his hand. So Bhasma Aarti is a very, 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 powerful Aarti. So a person who has witnessed the Bhasma Aarti, there is no way you would go there only once. I met people there who go there every month.
Oh.
Just to be a part of the Bhasma Aarti. It is so transformational.
And so powerful.
So powerful. I don't know about other people, but when I was there, I was in tears. Like when the Bhasma Aarti entered non-stop, jab wo ghanti baj rahi thi, I was only crying. And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And I was there on the first Monday of a Shravan month. So Shravan is the month of Lord Shiva and Monday is his day. So pehla Somvar Shravan month ka is supposed to be very, very auspicious. So people tell me that why do you pick up these dates, Sonali, when it is so crowded, when it is jam-packed and blah, blah, blah. But then I have this conversation with Mahadev and I'm like, okay, I'm coming, ab dekh lena, kaise kya karna hai. So yeah, it was crowded, but luckily we all got to witness the Bhasma Aarti. And after I came back, none of us slept. Couldn't sleep. None of us slept. Like we were, like that whole energy was so strong. Like even in the Mahakumbh, we didn't sleep for almost like, I think 16, 17, 20, 16, 17 hours. Because we started walking at 9 at night,
yes.
And we came back at 10 the next morning after doing the snan and everything.
Wow.
And it was a good 24-kilometer walk, by the way.
Going
14 kilometer going and 14 kilometer coming back. And I must say this, our government did a fabulous job, whatever anybody wants to say, but they did a fabulous job at the Mahakumbh.
Look at the number of people.
Only we could have pulled it off.
And
Let me tell you that.
Only our
none of
government
these concerts,
fantastic.
these whatever you call, these concerts happening, all these music fests happening, Tomorrowland happening. I'm sorry, guys, you've got to visit the Mahakumbh to understand. Like a friend of mine went for Tomorrowland and he said, oh, you know what? 10 lakh people coming. I said, bus? 10 lakh people coming and you call it a gathering?
Okay, at Omkareshwar, the Narmada river plays a central role. Scriptures say that river itself is eternally pure. How did you guide your friends to feel that sanctity rather than just understand it intellectually?
So, Omkareshwar is again a Jyotirling. Okay. And it's the beautiful story behind Omkareshwar is that it was made by the Vindhyanchal Parvat. You know the Vindhyas? So once Vindhyanchal Parvat was told by Narad Muni that, you're not the highest mountain. Mount Meru is the highest. So Vindhyanchal Parvat, decided that, oh my God, I want to become like tall and I want to be like the best in all of the mountains. So he started doing, of course, tapasya of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva again, how he is. Bholenath came, blessed him, and gave him the. So he sat in one place on that one particular mat, and he did not move for months or years, and he kept doing the sadhana. So again, Bholenath was very impressed, and he came, and he again presented himself in the form of a shivling, and he said that this is what I'm going to manifest here, and whoever comes to Omkareshwar, so that shivling, and these are very different types of shivlings. Usually, what you see like a shivling like this, right? None of these shivlings are like that. Even the Kashi Vishwanath shivling is not in that particular manner जैसे हम लोग अपने मंदिरों में बनाते हैं ना. No, they're stones. They're raw stones. So that it is an ancient stone. It is not man-made.
Yeah.
So is Omkareshwar. So it's a very small stone kind of a
Okay.
thing, shivling which is coming out. So then, of course, he blessed him, and all the gods and demigods and everybody, all of them came, and they said, we want you to be here and protect this area. So Lord Shiva, being him, he presented himself, or he manifested himself in the form of that Jyotirling. Now, another thing which people don't know is Mahakaleshwar. So, right opposite Omkareshwar, there is another temple called Mahakaleshwar. So, your journey is not complete till the time you don't visit Mahakaleshwar.
Okay.
So, now the thing is कि एक तो था शिवलिंग जो manifest हुआ in the form of, that stone where Shiva manifested himself, and he said, okay, fine, I'm here and this is the Jyotirling. But जो शिवलिंग इन्होंने अपने हाथ से बनाया था विंध्याचल पर्वत ने, that shivling is what Mahakaleshwar is.
Oh, okay.
So he said that, that shivling will also have equal this thing, as well along with the Omkareshwar shivling. So both are equally important. So any pilgrim coming to Omkareshwar, your journey is not complete till the time you don't do Mahakaleshwar. And things about Narmada river, see, they all say folklore, or you call it mythology, but I love these stories. I've grown up in these stories. So the thing is that Narmada, all the rivers that you have, Yamuna, Saraswati, all these rivers, they're basically sisters of Ganges, Ganga Ma. And Narmada again is a very, very pure river. And the stones that you find in the Narmada river, they are naturally in the form of a shivling.
Oh, okay.
So this time when I went for Dev Deepavali, I gifted those shivlingams, from the Narmada river.
Okay.
I called them from Omkareshwar, and I got them couriered to me, and I gifted all the people who were visiting the Kashi Vishwanath during Dev Deepavali with me. So just imagine how. Do you see shivlings everywhere?
No.
Have you ever seen a shivling anywhere? Like you go, stones तो सब जगह होते हैं. अगर आप river
But
के,
not in the form of a shivling.
can you believe that?
Uh-huh.
So it's a naturally formed shivling which you only find in the Narmada.
Narmada river.
Only the Narmada
That's so
river.
wonderful.
And the thing about that shivling is that आपको उस शिवलिंग का daily अभिषेक नहीं करना होता. Otherwise, if you keep a shivling in the house, you have to follow particular, there are rules to even wearing a
Yes.
rudraksh, to
Yes.
even worshipping a shivling, or, doing all of that. But when it comes to this particular shivling, there are no rules.
Wow. Excellent.
There are no rules. You just keep it in your house
And
and you
that's it.
receive the blessings. But I still tell people, ek jal abhishek you should do, on a daily basis of this. So
That's so wonderful.
it is beautiful.
I must tell you a story. Just now you mentioned about, lingam, that you get it home and they say, okay, fine, you can keep it and don't have to do the ritual every day in the morning. Many years ago, I was in Mumbai.
Okay.
And my son Jitin was barely 3 to 4 years old. There, Ganesh Chaturthi, they celebrate, right?
Yeah.
And they get Ganesh ji home and then
yeah.
puja karke Visarjan hota hai. So he insisted, he said, why are we not getting Ganesh ji home? So we did not know the ritual because, we were straight from, college and, just first job, second job, small children. We were not we were staying, being an army officer's son, we didn't know the rituals about that. So I asked my friend, he said, what do I do? This young fellow wants it, wants to get Ganesh ji home. He said, Hemant, get one Ganesh ji home and keep it. And do a little bit of puja if you want to, there's no problem. And can you imagine, Sonali, it's been so many years. We have got close to 200 moods of Ganeshas in a house.
Wow.
Because we keep collecting every year, buy one on a Ganesh Chaturthi, keep it home, and all our friends, when they come home, they know, Hemant's got a entire temple of Ganeshas, so we get them there.
Wow.
Well, coming back to Bana Lingams, which are naturally formed Shivaling, suggests that divinity doesn't need to be created. It is only to be recognized.
Absolutely.
How does this reflect in your own philosophy of healing?
So, I always say this, that we are a part of the divine. There is divinity in all of us. We come from the source, and our journey is to go back to the source. So all of this, whatever we are doing, whatever we are creating, all these karmic bonds that we are creating, the world of Maya that we are living in. And Maya, let me tell you, is not only money. Maya is basically, it is illusion. You know how I see the world? I say this, in fact, a lot, when I sit with people of the same frequency or vibration. So I would like to say this to you. We've seen that movie Jumanji.
No.
So Jumanji ke andar, it's basically a stimulated game. Okay. So this person is playing this game, and somehow something happens and he becomes a part of the game. Like he enters that virtual world, and everything that is happening in the game is basically happening in his virtual reality. For him, it's reality, but for the other person, it's a game. So I always say this, he's sitting up there, the creator, and this is all stimulation. It's all illusion. And it's a Jumanji game which is going on, and we are all a part of that virtual world, which God has created, and we are all just playing our parts and
Playing
doing
our parts,
whatever.
yeah.
But in reality, we all need to understand it is Maya, it is illusion. The only reality is that you come from that source, and you have to journey back to the source. And if you realize this, if you understand this, the more you understand, and you're doing a fabulous job, because this podcast of giving back to society is that idea. Because when you're on the path, you are doing seva, you're giving back to society. This is what we do as healers. I run an NGO. I have a Shiksha Kendra where we are teaching underprivileged children. So all of that, is giving back to the society, which is going back to the source.
And inspiring people to do the same
do
thing.
the same thing,
Because
absolutely.
we as Sanatanis
Absolutely.
are born givers. If you remember a great grandmother,
Yeah.
the first roti was always made for cow.
For cow. True.
Okay?
True.
And even I have seen my grandmother, she used to take the first bite of a roti and she used to keep it on the
Keep
side.
it on the side. Yes.
So I firmly believe that everybody, especially we the Indians, the proud Sanatanis and
Sanatanis,
Indians,
yeah.
are born with this instinct
It
of
is
helping people.
very true.
So
It's inbuilt.
basically what I'm doing by way of a podcast is inspiring more people to give it to the underprivileged. Because I firmly believe in one thing, the more you give, the more you get.
Absolutely.
And Sonali, you will be amazed. This is my 8th month of doing this podcast. We have over 4.5 million views.
Lovely.
And the kind of knowledge that I have gained, because when I have to sort of have a cardiologist come to my show or a cancer specialist, I have to read, get the knowledge to ask the intelligent questions from
Absolutely.
my guests.
Absolutely.
So it's really, mine is only inspiring people to enjoy the
And
art
let
of
me tell
giving.
you, it's a very different kind of high.
It's a different
if
high.
people are not in this energy of giving, people are not coming from love, compassion, empathy for the planet, for fellow beings, guys, you're really missing out. Let me tell you that. Because it is a very different kind of high.
Absolutely.
It is a different kind of high. You need nothing can come close to this kind of a feeling that you get,
I agree with
after
you.
you do your bit and somebody goes back smiling and happy that, oh, you know what, I got a meal today thanks to
Right.
so and so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is beautiful.
Now, coming back to Dev Diwali, right, which is believed to be a day when all the gods descend to the earth, and when you witness the ghats illuminated, what really shifted inside you personally when you see so many diyas is basically it's a different high altogether. We would like to know about that
Absolutely.
experience.
So, the story of Dev Deepavali again is a beautiful story. So, we are going into stories as to, what happened, why. So, lot of things, people look into, I would say, of there's a lot of show off, which people feel, ki, oh, Dev Deepavali, I also want to go for Dev Deepavali. I've heard so much about this. My friend went, she said it is so beautiful, it is so nice. I would also like to go for it. But for me, the reason why I went for Dev Deepavali and what I wanted people, to get out of Dev Deepavali was the fact that, first of all, it is Shiva's favorite city. Okay, so it is said that Kashi is on the trident of Lord Shiva. And जब प्रलय आ जाएगा and दुनिया में कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा, तब भी काशी बचेगी. It is believed कि कितने ही प्रलय आ चुके, कितना ही सब आ चुका, लेकिन काशी शिव की नगरी उसको कभी कुछ नहीं होगा.
Yes.
Because he is the one protecting Kashi. So when I went for Dev Deepavali, again the story, you can go to understand the story is that Shiva destroyed 3 demons. They were given a boon that they could not be destroyed, and they created a city called Tripurasur. So all these gods, they got together and they said, because these demons had become very, very powerful, it was very difficult even for Shiva to destroy them, all by himself. So it is believed that Lord Vishnu became the arrow, and someone became something, and all the gods, they basically decided to get together to finish the Tripurasur, which was the city, which was like a 3D city. And the thing was that at a particular time, if they came in a particular alignment, in a particular straight line, अगर वो time निकल जाता तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता था. And then everything would have been destroyed and they would have been the rulers of the universe or whatever. So that timing was very important. So they had created 3 cities. Okay? And ये तीनों cities एक line में alignment में आनी थी. And at that point of time, Shiva was supposed to leave that arrow to destroy all the 3 cities in one go. And it was a very, very difficult task, like a Herculean task, I would call it. And he did that. The day he did that is celebrated as Dev Deepavali.
Oh, okay.
So that is the story. So हमारी जो
And
दिवाली,
but they light so many lamps.
yes, they do.
Over a million or
Over million, yeah. Close to 10 lakh, yeah, 1 million lamps, or maybe more.
Maybe more, yeah.
Maybe more. You never know, because every ghat is so beautifully lit.
Yes.
You have fireworks, you have laser shows. Now it's becoming bigger and better, and all of that. So we have, like I said, we have our Manushyon ki Diwali, which we call Diwali. And this is
Dev
Deepavali. So now see, अगर ये demons होते तो सबसे ज़्यादा problem किसको होती? Gods को, the demigods, जैसे इंद्रदेव हो गए, वरुण देव हो गए, all of those, moon god, sun god, all of these people. So they felt relieved and they were very happy, which is why it is believed that on this day, when Shiva ended the Tripurasur, which is the 3 cities of those 3 demons, is why Dev Deepavali is celebrated. And these devtas, they come down to Kashi. And Shiva himself comes down to Kashi.
Those energies are felt there.
On the Dev Deepavali day. Wow. To say thank you to him for saving the world or saving the universe, from those demons. So that's how Dev Deepavali is celebrated.
And you guided nearly 30 people
Yes.
through this collective experience of silence and awareness. What happens when the light is witnessed, not with excitement, but with surrender?
That is such a beautiful thing to say, but sadly, I think we people still have to get there. Like my take back from this experience, and I would actually like to tell this, to your guests as well, that never go to these places with a lot of expectations. You will get what you are supposed to get. Whatever Baba wishes, whatever Mahadev wishes, that is exactly what you're going to get. And a lot of times, it's your own karma as well. So whether you've got a very good darshan or whether you've not got a very good darshan or XYZ or things happening, not happening. So you need to understand that when you are at a pilgrimage, when you are in a place like this, then it's totally surrender. When you say the word surrender, then live it. Because in that, how do I say, in that world of noise, where you have all the patakas happening, the fireworks happening, the diyas lit, just close your eyes and just see it. Like currently, I am telling you, I close my eyes and I can see those million diyas right there at my third eye, in my mind's eye. You don't need to be there to witness a Dev Deepavali. You can witness a Dev Deepavali every single minute of your life.
I totally agree with you. I was about to say that. Over the years, one has learned the art of having no expectations.
True.
If I expect this is what I'm going to do tomorrow or day after or after a year, or if I have any expectations from somebody, or I have a regrets, what I talk about, what happened to my life yesterday,
10 years
he said,
ago,
she said, nothing. I have reached a stage in life that I enjoy the power of now.
Now, absolutely.
And now, when I say, believe you me, when I close my eyes, I've never been to Dev Diwali. I'll be honest with you.
I'll take you this year.
I have seen photographs. I'm listening to you very carefully. I'm already feeling Dev Diwali in front of me.
It is a beautiful experience. But
Yes.
I would say that again. Don't experience it externally. Try to experience Dev Deepavali internally.
Yeah.
You're lighting diyas for your Mahadev.
Yes.
To welcome him, to thank him. What about the diyas inside you?
Yes.
First light that diya inside you. That diya of knowledge, that diya of love, compassion, empathy within you. And then think about, okay, 1 million diyas out there. You can light close to 10 million diyas in your heart, every single night when you go to sleep.
Absolutely. Now, many festivals are very loud, right? And there's a lot of celebrations all over the place. Why did you choose silence and stillness as part of your journey?
वो कहते हैं ना कि शोर जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है बट साइलेंस की चुप्पी की उसकी साउंड नहीं होती है. Silence is something which can only be felt, it can be internalized, and it is something which I don't think words can express. I don't think there are enough words in the English vocabulary, to express what introspection means or what silence means, because every person who's meditating will have a different experience from the other person. So in the world of noise, when you choose to go within, when you choose to go silent, when you choose to not get triggered, when you choose to not retaliate, and when you choose to just listen and let go of whatever the other person is saying, because whatever the other person is saying is just noise, So, वो एक कला है जो over a period of time आती है, लेकिन एक बार आ जाती है ना, I swear to God, nobody can shake your peace.
Absolutely.
Nobody can shake your peace of mind because you're still from within. That ठहराव is there from within. बोलते रहो जो बोलना है. And you'll be surprised. I've had so many fallouts, so many people falling off the grid, falling off from my life. So many things happening. Of course, as a human, you do experience emotions.
Yes.
So I do experience those emotions. But once I'm out of it, I'm out of it. Then there is no going back. I just sit with my thoughts. I think, I introspect, I meditate. And then the day I decide, okay, Sonali, now it's over. Now it's in the past. Let's focus on the now. It's gone.
Absolutely.
Then there is no looking back.
Wonderful. Have you ever witnessed people release emotions and gain clarities without dramatic processes? Have you ever witnessed people change in front of you?
Yes.
And when you especially go to such places, they also gain some, whatever you're trying to say, obviously you transform people when they go there. Have you witnessed such experiences?
Like I said, a lot of people, who go there. So first and foremost, you should always go to these places with no expectations. And so when I went for the Mahakumbh, so along with just doing the procession, I basically curated the whole. We had a 4-day trip, by the way, to the Mahakumbh. It wasn't like just going, taking a dip and coming
Acha, it was
back.
4-day trip.
Yeah, it was a 4-day trip. And so I did a very, very powerful, we did sound healing sessions with them. We did the yagya, I'd taken my Pandit actually from Goa. I'd taken 2 of my Pandit, Bhajji and one more, like 2 of them I'd taken them from here to, from Goa to Prayagraj, and they were so happy. They were so happy. They're like, what have you done? You've like done something, I
That
don't
means
know.
you curated a trip. It was not only comfortable, it was very nicely, taken care
Yes.
of. All the basics
All
were
the
taken.
basics were taken care of. So it wasn't just going and staying in a tent. So when people told me, Sonali, people are getting stuck, there are jams, people have to walk for so many kilometers because kabhi bhi protocol lag jata hai, gaadi ruk jati hai. Nothing of that affected us because I had decided to keep everybody busy within the tents. I had my space designated. We were working on our chakras. We were working on releasing our. We were doing yoga. We were doing sound healing sessions. We were doing our yagya. We were doing the Ganga Aarti. So everything was happening within that vicinity.
Wow.
And the only 2 times that we went out was to visit the akhadas and to do the Amrit Snan.
Amrit Snan, yeah.
Otherwise, 4 days, where it went, how it went, people didn't get to know.
That means the devotion, luxury, beauty, and spirituality coexisted. at the
Coexist,
same-
absolutely.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
Now, coming back to if someone feels spiritually curious but emotionally tired, what would be your sort of advice to those people? Which one to explore first?
So I would say, it is very important for anybody to, if you want to get onto the path, you need to get rid of some of the emotional baggage. And the good news is that to get onto the path, you need to have emotional baggages. So it works both ways. So a good healer would always start working on your energy, on your emotions, on your inner child, your emotions or feelings that you're having from within, which can mushroom from childhood or even come from your past life. Like I do ancestral healing. So it is not only you, but a lot of coming from, lot of baggage, which is a part of your energy field because of your ancestors as well. So you start working on that. There are a lot of tools which can help you release those emotional
Wow.
baggages. The simplest tool, I always say this to people, is breathing. So we don't know how to breathe properly.
Yes.
We don't know how to breathe. Our breathing is very shallow. So the moment you start focusing on the breath, imagine if I tell you to take 10 breaths and hold it and then ask you to hold it for 10 seconds, what is it that you're going to think? Are you going to think, oh my God, I lost 5 lakh rupees? Or, oh my God, my wife ran away? Or, oh my God, my brother did this to me? No. Your thought is going to be, oh my God, I need to breathe.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? So the first thing to do for anybody experiencing any kind of emotion is focus on your breath. So that breath work is very important.
Totally agree with you. Well, Sonali, thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom and your experience with our audience. Rotarians, as I mentioned earlier, are also very religious people. We are very spiritually inclined. Every president normally takes his club members
I know.
to
Some
various
place
religious.
or the other.
I'm sure this particular podcast is going to be appreciated by everybody and more truthfully. Thank you so much for watching this program. And if you like our podcast, please do share, like, and subscribe. And if you also have a story or experience to share, please do get in touch with us. It will be my honor to call you on this show. Namaskar and Jai Hind. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you so much.
Thank you.